Good day and welcome to the Sport Rep Show. I'm your host, Jesse Jackson Kauraifa, unpacking the latest sports news in and beyond Namibian borders. And now for your latest on the hit list. The Mamelodi Sundowns and Brave Warriors forward Peter Shalulile has recently faced a notable decline in his form. Once feared by defenders across the continent, the 30-year-old Namibian striker has found it difficult to find the back of the net for a few months now. His struggles have not gone unnoticed by fans, with some tracing the beginning of his goal drought for club and country back to the MTN 8 final against Orlando Pirates last year. During that game, Shalulile was seen dropping matchsticks on the pitch, which the referee promptly removed. Since that incident, a number of fans believe that the Namibian striker has lost his scoring touch, with the rumored influence of sangomas being insinuated. During the 2023 Africa Cup of Nations tournament held in January 2024 in Ivory Coast, where he captained Namibia, Shalulile went in with high hopes of his nation's top player. The Brave Warriors rode Dion Hoto's 1-0 winning strike against Tunisia all the way into the round of 16, although their captain failed to score a goal in the tournament, adding to the growing concern about his form since his debut as a 20-year-old in September 2014 under Ricardo Manetti. Shalulile has become the all-time leading goal scorer for Namibia, 16 in 49 internationals. Concerns have, however, been mounting since his last goal for the national team against Burundi in June 2023, which was 12 matches ago. Sport Rep yesterday spoke with Brave Warriors head coach Colin Benjamin, who stated that the national team's keeper continues to add value to the team. The Commerce Basketball Association regular season has, over the past 2 weeks, culminated in playoffs that will reach the crescendo this Friday at the Deutsche Hochschule Private Schule Windhoek DHPS Basketball Gym Hall, where the finals will set the course for the Ultimate Championship title. The finals will kick off with the Division 1 match between Basketball Arts School Vikings and Unam Penguins at 1700 hours. This will be followed by the Women's Premier League clash at 1900 hours, where Unam Phoenix will battle Atlantic Storm. The evening will conclude with a much anticipated Men's Premier League final at 2040, featuring showdown between Unam Rebels and Unam Wolves. Women's Premier League. In the Women's Premier League, Unam Phoenix dominated the regular season standings with 23 points, followed closely by Atlantic Storms with 22 points, and Ongos Shooting Stars in third place with 19. The playoffs saw Unam Phoenix comfortably secure their spot in the finals by sweeping Unam Wildcats 3-0 in a best-of-5 series. The semi-final clash between Ongos Shooting Stars and Atlantic Storm was a thrilling series. Although Ongos put up a strong fight, Atlantic Storm's firepower proved too much and they won the series 3-1. Men's Premier League. In the Men's Premier League, Unam Wolves finished the regular season at the top of the log with 22 points, with Unam Rebels in second also on 22 points, separated only by technicalities. Of course, the basketball season has produced wonders, and everyone, I'm sure, will be excited to go and watch the finals. Definitely something that if you find yourself doing nothing this weekend, it is an event that you can actually go and watch. Speaking of events to watch, the mayor of Korigas, Patience Howes, is inviting all Namibians to the town for a mayoral football tournament taking place this weekend. The tournament will see teams from the town and surrounding areas battling it out for a trophy and medals at the town sports stadium. And watch the cream of football. Howes said she believes that the cream of football will be played that weekend. The tournament was initially created in order to boost the town's business sector as well as the sports fraternity. It is one of the key strategies the mayor believes will keep people away from potentially harmful activities, as they will have something enjoyable to watch and keep themselves busy with. The mayor is also optimistic that the tournament will provide a boost to local vendors, as they will have the opportunity to sell their products at this stadium. definitely something there. We did have an interview with the mayor last time around, and she was very excited about this event that will be taking place, that is at the town of Korigas. Definitely football teams will be there to battle it out, that is for top honors. We hope that it is going to produce memorable memories for many that will be there. For those that want to travel to Korigas, definitely there is still time, because the tournament only takes place at the weekend, so you definitely do have a chance to go there. The organizers said that everything is in place, security is tight, and everyone will be well looked after as they enjoy the game of football. We will now take a trip to the marketplace, and after that we go into our August 7th segment. Stay tuned.
From the day you were born and welcomed until your pensioner years on this earth, your life is filled with changes and phases. What mattered the most at age 10 may be an unknown memory at 25. The heartbreak at 16 may be replaced with wedding bells at 27. The degree you've always wanted or starting your career business may come true at age 30. And the dream to own your own home may come to realization at age 50. Whatever stage you find yourself in, whatever matters right now, Standard Bank has what you need to bank like you. Choose your own path. Choose endless possibilities. Standard Bank, it can be.
This Saturday, rugby lovers can head to the Vineta Central Stadium in Swakopmund as the day promises fast-paced, high-tempo sevens action. This is according to Rowan Besser, chairman of the Simonis Storm Dolphin, the rugby club, which is simultaneously hosting the annual Day of the Dolphin. However, this year, the Ongos Valley Sevens will also join the action-packed day as its coastal leg will take place at the same venue. The southern round of the Ongos Valley 7 series kicked off last weekend in Keetmanshoop, where Oraniemund was crowned the champion. A dream team from the south was selected to compete when the series concludes in Windhoek on 5 October. A women's tournament will also be part of the Ongos Valley 7's activities on 4 October. In this Saturday Swakopmund round, the teams contesting are Sparta, Oceans RC, both from Walvis Bay, Okahanja Highlanders and Vipers from Windhoek. For the Day of the Dolphins, the defending champion is Unam Rugby Club. We will now take, that is, another trip to the marketplace, and after that it is our Zoom In segment. And in our Zoom In segment, we do have that special interview that many has requested, and it is from the legend Geros the Bomber Urikop, one of Namibia's best striker of a ball. Definitely he will be up next, and after that Ario Hart will take us through the latest international news. From me, Jesse Jackson Kauraitha, we'll see you tomorrow again. Goodbye. is joined by a legend of the game, famously known for his powerful shots back in the day. That is Geros Urikop, affectionately known as Vetbien as well. But the man himself is here. Geros, welcome to the show.
Thanks a lot.
You are a very hard man to find, hey?
Yeah.
I've been tracking you down all the way down here in Tsumeb. I'm sure many people still want to know, they still ask questions, where is Keros and all that, but I found him here now, that is in Tsumeb. But before we talk about what is the current happenings in your life right now, we want to talk about the past. You were a very formidable player, a dangerous player, with a very tough right foot, which was feared by many goalkeepers. I spoke to Marcellus Vedpian the other time, and he said, if I could fear any player, it would be Keros, but we were playing. Luckily, I was lucky that we were playing on the same team. So tell us, where did you start your football career, Keros?
First of all, thanks for the opportunity. I started my football career at Chief Sandos. That was way back 1982. I started training with them for 3 years, and my first match was here in Chumeb against Tigers Football Club. The likes of Bandike, Grey Umatis, the old people. That time I was only 13 years of age, and I played in someone else's name for that match because they were not taking records. And I was a very young boy. I was not supposed to play there, but I managed to do my tricks.
So you played, you went into the game, and how was it?
It was a very tough game at the beginning, but as the time passed on, I get used to it, and the old people said, leave that boy in the beginning. But after a few minutes, they started, hey, take note of that boy.
So
He will kill us. Then
So,
that match, I scored 3 goals.
you scored 3 goals.
Yeah, on my first attempt.
So what was so special about that game? Were you scoring from the outside of the box, or?
Yeah, it was from far. Bandike Okurubi knows it very well.
So he saw that this guy's shot at 13 years. They were probably wondering what's in those legs. So after that, your career, you played for Chief Santos for a number of years. Was there any other club you played for?
I started my career at Chief Santos and ended there. And the other team I played for is the Brave Warriors. That's all.
Okay, before we get to the Brave Warriors, in your days as a Chief Santos player, what game will you remember and say this was the best game I've played in my career for Chief Santos, and against which team was it? I know you played many good games.
The game that I can recall is the 1991 NFA Cup final against Blue Waters that we played 2 times. On that game, the first final, I scored 2 goals, and the second replay, I scored the only one.
So
and we played 2 times draw and then penalties.
And you were on the score sheet again, and then both games. And as a striker, or as a player that used to shoot that much, which goalkeeper do you think during your playing days for Chief Santos was somebody close to handling your power? Maybe a keeper that was actually, because most of the keepers feared you anyways.
Yeah, I do have 3. Number 1 is Sparks Cotley, and then Ronnie, and then Denzel Brewer. But Marcellus was my teammate, so I can't say anything about him, but he was the best.
Yes.
Yeah.
And always you developing this shot that you had, was it practice, or was it just something born within you?
No, I was born with it. No practice.
No practice.
Yeah. I was only trying to be fit. That's all.
I'm sure we used to play back in the days. If there is a guy that has a shot
like yours, people will call him by your name because I think at school when he has the ball, everyone will just move out and he scores on his own with a soft goal. So was there any time in your career where you just walk with the ball inside because the keeper walk out?
Yeah, sometimes maybe a tap in, but usually I tried my luck from far. Yeah, that was my strongest point.
Okay, going back into Chief Santos, I'm sure there is a match or a fixture that you must have enjoyed most. Every time you wanted to play in that fixture, against which team would that be and why?
Black Africa.
Why would you? Why would that
I
be?
hated Black Africa so much, and I was born the day Black Africa beat Chief Santos in the top 16 here in Chumel. So I hated them a lot.
So whenever you are in that game, you wanted to.
I have to score.
You had to score.
Yeah.
Any famous game you remember against them?
Yeah, that one was here again against Ronnie. He knows. That story he don't want to talk, but he will explain better to you.
So you gave him a bit of a tough time.
Against Black Africa, and even the national training were taking chances. Let's try a bit and let's try this and that. And even him, he was giving me that assurance to do better.
To do better as a player.
Yeah.
Fine, you played most of the times. The defenders that you probably didn't want to play against sometimes?
Yeah, that one was Tolly van Wyk and the late Saladiel Njau. Those guys, I don't know whether they were defenders or bullies, but I was afraid to play against them. Every contact, I was injured.
Oh, they were very rough,
especially in air. Yeah, the aerial balls was it was very difficult for me to beat them.
So you went on, you got your Brave Warriors call-ups, and you played for the Brave Warriors as well. So during these years, can you just explain your journey to the Brave Warriors, how you was selected and at which game, or were you just given a call?
I really don't recall that. All I know is that I was called up on that certain day. So, and I was so surprised. And I said, this is my chance to make my name. But when you wear that jersey of the country, you don't think about money. You just play for your country and out of your heart.
So for the Brave Warriors, any match particular that you want to remember and say that I played this match very well?
Yeah, that one was against Gabon. The one we have to draw to qualify for Burkina Faso. That match was very, very tough, and I was playing all over the field, defensive-wise and attacking, and I am the one who made that penalty scored by Congo, so
you guys can qualify. Yeah. A very special penalty it was indeed. So is that probably the best game, you would say, that the proudest moment of your football career?
Yes, I can say that.
That was qualifying to Burkina Faso.
And the one in Burkina Faso was the one against the Ivory Coast, that comeback. It was very, very special on my heart.
It was indeed a special moment, even for the fans, Namibian fans. Anyhow, you played with some of the top players. I want to know who is a teammate that you always regard. I know they are.
Good everyone, time for international sports news, and starting off with soccer news from England. It is the Europa League that continued, and it is a similar competition to the FA Cup, and it was Arsenal and Liverpool having home games. Arsenal first, they beat Bolton by 5-1. comprehensive win for them. It was Declan Rice that scored early, and also 2 goals from Ethan Nwaneri, and he scored 2 goals for Arsenal in that comfortable win. It was also Liverpool that played at home, a similar score. It was also 5-1 that they beat West Ham, and it was Cody Gakpo that scored 2 late goals in the 90th and 93rd minute to make it 5-1, and earlier also Diogo Jota that scored twice, 25th and the 49th minute. So lots of goals in both games, Arsenal and Liverpool in the Europa League. This coming weekend, both of them in action in the English Premier League. It will be a 4 p.m. kickoff for Arsenal at home against Newcastle, and then it will be a 6:30 p.m. kickoff time, Namibian time, for Liverpool. That is an away game to Wolverhampton. The leader in the English Premier League is still Manchester City, and they've got an away game to Newcastle, and that will be the first game of the weekend. That will be a 1 p.m. kickoff time. Moving on to tennis news, it is a China Open that starts. All of the top players, most of the top players in the world, they playing in the China Open, a strong field, men and women. On the women's side first, Naomi Osaka, former major champion, she beat Lucia Bronzetti 6-3 and 6-2. Also Naomi Osaka in the news because she changed coaches, and she's got a new coach in Patrick Muratoglu, and he used to coach Serena Williams. So it's a strong acquisition for the team of Naomi Osaka. She will next play Julia Patitseva. The number 1 seed in the women's division in the tournament is Aryna Sabalenka. Then also it is Jessica Pegula. That's the number 2 seed in the tournament. On to the men's side of the draw, and number 1 seed is Yannick Sinner. He's from Italy, also the world number 1, and he will play Nicolas Jardé in the first round. Strong field in the men's division as well. Number 2 seed in the tournament is Spain's Carlos Alcaraz, and then also Daniel Medvedev. He's a number 3 seed. Closing off today's international sports news with motor racing news, Formula 1 news, and not good news for Red Bull. They're losing yet another important member of their team. It is their strategy chief, that is Will Courtenay, that will leave the Red Bull team, and he will join the McLaren team as their sporting director. Big loss again for Red Bull. They earlier also lost the services of Adrian Newey, and they're not doing well at the moment. Max Verstappen still leading the points table, but it was McLaren that won some of the last races in the Formula 1. So the news there, it is Red Bull that lost their strategy chief, Will Courtenay, moving to McLaren. And that's international sports news for today. Hope you have a great sport day, and we talk international sport again tomorrow. Goodbye.